Faith, freedom, peace. That's the title of today's message. You like that? Yes. All right, let's give God some praise. I want to thank Bishop Durham for getting us all like hyped up. Are we still hyped? Yes. Are we still hyped? Yes. All right, so brothers and sisters, thank you so much for coming. I know several of you traveled far. Really appreciate it. It's great to see you. It's not usual to see me preparing a message, right? Like this. You know how much I love to fly around and be free. But there's so many interesting people, more than usual, enjoying my messages these days. Did you notice? So to all of you watching, no matter the motive, please let God be your guide. Are you? Faith, freedom, peace. I know why you're here. Probably you're all wondering, how is True Mother doing, right? So let me begin right there. Everything I hear, everything I'm hearing, confirms that she is very clear. Very clear. I tell you, of all the people I've met, Mother is the most clear, strongest, clearest, unbreakable, unshakable, our true Mother. Let's give her some praise. Her heart is focused on heaven, not fear. She is aware of the love pouring toward her from around the world. So, do you think really cement walls can stop God's love? Never has. Can laws control the Holy Spirit? Really? Right? So, no matter what matters most right now for us is what we will do during this chapter. Mother is very clear. The first followers of Jesus, when he was taken from them, did not know how things would turn out either, did they? But what they did in those few days changed the world. And this is that kind of moment for us. 2 weeks ago, Yumiko and I were in New York, Belvedere. Anybody was there? A couple of you? All right. The pastor, Reverend Rendell. So I stand by everything I said on that day. And, God, that was a long message, though. At that time, the team believed that Mother would not be detained. The team believed it was very unlikely that Mother would be detained. But by the time I touched down again in Korea the following day, bad news had already reached my phone. It was really hard. Still actually impossible for me to imagine the circumstances that Mother's in. I can't imagine. And it makes you really, if you just think about it, oh my God, is there no end to what we will have this woman bear, right? Is there no end to those that rise up against her? Has she not already carried enough? What do you think? What is she on trial for next? But when the world lashes out with headlines, it doesn't stop us. It just gets us going. Adieu. So I have sat with her. I've seen her. And I'll express my experience plainly. True Mother is absolutely innocent. Absolutely innocent. History will say so too. Have confidence. So today I stand here with a simple message of faith, freedom, and peace. Are you ready? I believe True Mother remains clear in spirit and steadfast in heart. Her mind is on heaven. That has not changed. I watched her step into the rain that day, reporters pushing and lunging forward. And the first thing she said, as if just pure instinct, was what? Even though it is raining, thank you for your hard work. That moment has not left me. That's not a public relations statement. That's faith. That's the heart of love of a mother. That's where she speaks from, where she looks from, thinks from, feels from. It's impossible to corner that or control that. And it's that kind of heart that I want to learn from her. You too? So when I look into her eyes, I see someone that loves the world and knows God's will be done. It's just a matter of how long it takes for God's children to remember who we are. Just 2 nights ago, literally hours before getting on the plane, actually, around 2:30 in the morning in Seoul, Yumiko and I went to the detention center to pray. It's no longer hot and muggy in Korea. It's cool, especially at night. The only light to be found was coming from the sign above the guard post at the gate. Police were gathered here and there, and there was quiet music playing from some speaker in the distance. It was surreal. Yumiko and I took a couple of pictures in the dark. And on the other side of a fence sat a small group of former President Yoon supporters. In fact, they had you can see they have a big setup there. They must be there every day. And a few moments later, Yumiko and I were just leaning against the railing, trying to fathom. You're stood in this parking lot. There's police buses everywhere. There's groups of police. There's the gate to the detention center. There's, Yoon supporters and protesters taking a break over here. There's a little gathering of our own members who are on an all-night prayer vigil on folding chairs seated around a little computer watching reruns of Mother's world tour speeches. Just sitting quietly. And it's a surreal kind of, and we're just leaning up against the fence. It's dark. You can't see anything. And at that moment, the whole group of the President Yoon supporters broke through. They kind of had to lift the fence out of the way to walk over to us. In fact, they came to speak with us 2 times. Not just curious, they were concerned, and they were asking us what we were doing there. Who are you? Why are you here? Why are you taking pictures? Did you take pictures of us? Yumiko had to show her phone to them. What are you doing here? So, standing there, I could feel how tense everybody is. And nobody was really angry, but they were nervous. They were nervous. And they wouldn't leave. The only way I could get them off of our backs was to ask them, well, who are you? Who are you? What are you doing here, may I ask? Why are you talking to me? What is your name? But I concluded with, shouldn't we be friends? And then that's when they walked away. They just walked away. And Yumiko, in that moment, Yumiko and I were overcome with a sense of the fear that is pressing down on those who are aware of what is happening. It's like palpable. Palpable. I must admit that when I got onto the plane, there was a moment of, like that little sigh of relief. Not the usual one. I was on the phone yesterday, and I was taking a walk by the hotel where we're staying. There's this beautiful golf course. So I was taking a walk down the pathway, and I was on the phone with Curtis. Oh my God, it's so great to be in America. I'm free. I'm not looking over my shoulder right now. I'm free. I'm free. And in that moment, a golf cart purred up behind me. Zip. Excuse me, do you need a ride? And I'm like, no, I'm fine, I'm free. I don't need a ride. He said, well, yeah, it's not that. It's just that there's not supposed to be any walkers around here. I'm like, oh, yeah, no walkers. No walkers. What are you talking about, The Walking Dead? Me, walker. Oh, I'm a walker. Sorry, Curtis. I think I'm actually in trouble now. I'm a walker. Sorry. But no, we're in America and we are free. We're free. We're so lucky to be free. And in that moment, in that parking lot, I was kind of starting to forget what that feels like. I was just taking it all in. It's not a personal thing. It's not a movement thing. Something bigger than that. And I realized that fear itself builds the walls. It's the fear that builds the walls higher than any kind of politics could. It's fear. I don't want to live that way. I don't want to let fear decide who I can love or who I can pray for. Do you? I don't want to let fear decide that. I want to keep faith in the middle of suspicion, and I will pray until those invisible walls come down. Aren't you? Esther had it when she said, if I perish, I perish. St. Paul had it when he sang hymns in a jail cell. True Father had it in Danbury, and True Mother has it right now. Faith, not fear. And each of us has to make a choice, right, Steve? Faith or fear? Or should we have faith with just enough fear? Or mostly fear with just a little bit of faith? Or should we be absolute and have faith or fear? Which one? Raise your hand if you're with faith. Yeah, just raise your hand if you don't know what I'm talking about. That's what I want to believe until the miracles are made fully visible. Next, I want to talk about freedom. Do you know the story of Pastor Son Hyun-bo? Pastor Son is the leader of Segero Church in Busan. He was jailed just a few days before True Mother. Why? Apparently, he said something the government did not like very much. Okay? So we heard that Pastor Rob McCoy, who's Charlie Kirk's pastor, planned to visit Segero Church to speak. This was last weekend. We managed to get in touch with them, and we made our way down there to hear him preach. By the way, I recommend the KTX train, especially during traffic times. It's really nice. Just 2.5 hours. Yeah, and so cheap. It was like $38 one way, right, Reverend Yu? Pretty cheap. So we went down to Busan. I have to say, the spirit in Busan is remarkable. Recently, Mother was talking about Busan and the Nakdong River I mentioned a couple of weeks ago. Mother keeps mentioning over the course of the last several years, she mentioned many times about the Korean War, her gratitude for the 16 UN member nations. And more recently, she started to talk specifically about the Nakdong River and about the young teenage boys who had to pick up arms to fight for their freedom at the outset of the Korean War. These are young boys who had never seen or held a gun before, and they had a week to train. And they were just pouring in. The Nakdong River kind of circumvents the area around Busan. And you know the story, right? The northern armies came all the way down. And Busan was like the last bastion of hope, right? And it's the Nakdong River where the border of most of the fighting went on. So that river is called the river tainted with blood. Isn't that right, Dr. Kim? The river tainted with blood. The blood of young men who never imagined they would have to be fighting their own brothers from the north. You know, straight out of class into battle. And I find there's a lot of parallels between that time and now. And as we were on the train down to Busan, I was really thinking about this. And what is it that America has to offer again? We were a little American group going down there, and we were going to meet Pastor Rob McCoy, who came from America to preach in the Segero Church. It's a big church. You know. So while we were there, we met Pastor Son's family, his children. We met them first online and made arrangements to be there. And when we met them, we could really feel the full measure of their faith and dignity. And I don't think they're very confused about where to stand or what to say. They're speaking very naturally, not just in defense of their Father, but in God's defense, in heaven's defense. Later, in a few minutes, you'll see a short video from the younger son. His name is Chance. And if you aren't already following him on X, please do so. We're friends on X, we're chit-chatting, and he sent me a video to greet our members today, a short video I'll play. I also met and talked with Pastor Rob McCoy. Great guy. Actually, when I sat down, Yumiko and I, we brought Hannah and Amy and Dr. Jenkins and a Washington Times correspondent. We were there filling up the pew, and this Korean lady sat behind me with a cup of coffee. These are wooden pews. They're really nice pews, by the way. They have a little table right in front of you. And this lady, I noticed she had a cup of coffee. I hadn't had one yet because they don't sell it on the train, unfortunately. That's one problem. But I said, "Oh, you have a coffee." And, I've been in Korea so many months this year. It's like I'm starting to speak Korean. At this level, I can engage and say, "Hey, you've got a coffee. You can drink in here, coffee, in the church?" She says, "Yeah." She says, "Yeah, come on." I love Korean people. They are so accommodating, so familial, right? When you're engaging in a natural conversation with the real Korean people, they're so beautiful. They just bring you. So she's like bringing me up to go to the coffee shop. She's showing me where the coffee shop is to get myself a cup of coffee. Turns out, though, that it's not a coffee shop. She takes me to what turns out to be the green room. It's like a green room. And then these other couple of sisters are pouring me a couple of coffee. I get one for myself. I get one for Yumiko or Dr. Jenkins. I know he'll take one. And then I turn over and I see just a few tables down, Pastor Rob McCoy sitting with one of the assistant pastors. So I go over to say hi, and he's like, hey, thank you guys so much for helping, because we're all working. And he said, please sit down, and we're chit-chatting. And he's like, what do you need? And, later I texted him, because I couldn't answer, but what do we need in that moment? Actually, we were there. Why? Why were we there? Because we wanted to meet our Christian family down in Busan. We wanted to worship with them, sing with them, pray with them, and build solidarity with them, just to be and breathe with them, to feel and to know what it is that they're going through. Thank you. Just because, right? And so I couldn't think about, what do we need? At that moment, we were really there for them. And I was really impressed with Pastor Rob McCoy. He preached that the church is the conscience of the nation and that freedom without truth is just chaos. Listening to him in that Korean sanctuary, I felt the providential link across the Pacific, America and Korea, woven together by the same heavenly thread. It was a destiny of these two nations. That is the reality of America and Korea. These two nations, this relationship was destiny, providential destiny. Don't you think so? Yes. Between America and Korea, this is a providential destiny relationship. I mean, actually, we might even say, some people debate this regarding Japan. We have many Japanese with us. God bless. Let's give it up for Japan. But even we remember Father's testimony about really choosing Japan, right? As the Eve nation, right? But I think the relationship between America and Korea, there was no choice. That choice had already been made. Don't you think so? This nation is incredible. And you don't really realize it until you go to other nations, especially when you go to places where freedom is for sale. Okay? So especially the young people or those that haven't traveled, please, study about that. Really think about that. We're so lucky. So America, as you know, led the forces, the UN forces that came to defend the fledgling democracy in Korea, didn't it? For the sake of freedom. Our young men shed their blood and died for that freedom. Pastor Rob reminded us last weekend that we lose our freedom the moment we fear government more than we fear God. We lose our freedom the moment we fear government more than we fear God. The moment we depend on government more than we depend on God. That's when we lose our freedom. Isn't it so? But it's not the government's right to make that choice for you. Doesn't matter what country you're in. Only we, children of God, citizens of every nation, only we can make the choice. Whether we depend on God or depend on government or depend on someone else is our choice. He really reminded us of this last Sunday. A few days later, just I think 2-3 days ago, I was having breakfast with Dr. Frank Kaufman. And I was raising this point about how democracy in America feels very different than democracy in other nations. And I've been thinking about this a lot, Reverend Kajikuri. Why is it different? Because we've taken the same democratic apparatus. Several countries have adopted this kind of structure and philosophy of government. But there's something different, because the genesis of America, unlike the genesis of every single other country in human history, the genesis of this country, the seedling of this country, was built on freedom, specifically religious freedom. The freedom for us to be able to express and relate to God, our heavenly parent, in our own way. Are you? And Frank then pointed out that the very essence of our founding documents are incredible in this way, because our government is built on the most beautiful and essential understanding of the individual human being. That each individual is created by God. So we are created beings, property of God, made in heaven. Made in heaven. Not made in China, not made in America, made in heaven. Let's give it up for heaven, and let's give it up for God's children. You were born in heaven. I feel sorry for those who don't believe that or feel that, even though they are that. We were made by God. And so this nation, our founding documents, the philosophy of our very government, the structure of the entire government is built on what? This essential understanding that we are created beings, endowed by God. Our freedoms, our liberties, our rights are already given to us by God. There's no government that has the permission to give you the permission to claim those rights. It's beautiful. Rights and freedoms are given by God, and no government should have or can have the power to stand between God and you. Isn't that beautiful? I'm not sure how many of our young people in America really understand this, the uniqueness of our nation. Think about it. The entire world benefits from America standing for freedom. The entire world currently is, grateful or not, knowing or not, with all of the American problems or not, okay, the entire world is right this minute benefiting. I mean, frankly, probably even the countries that are most authoritarian, even the citizens of those countries, I would wager, are doing better in a world where America exists versus a world where America would not exist. The entire world benefits from America standing up for freedom. And if America is lost, the world would change in a minute. We are blessed with this freedom. But we are also responsible to protect it and to stand with it. I will not waste that freedom. I will use it to pray without fear, to speak with love, and to forgive faster than I judge. I will believe that real freedom is obedience to God's voice, not reaction to man's noise. I choose to believe that real freedom is obedience to God's voice, not a reaction to man's noise. Because boy, can men make some noise. But I like God's noise. I like the heavenly angels' noise. I like God's voice. I feel better there, frankly. Peace. There is no peace without faith, and there is no peace without freedom. Pastor Rob said last Sunday that right now it is those who are jailed in prison who are the most free in Korea. Think of that. Those who are jailed despite what they believe and what they do are actually the most free, because they stand with what they believe and they know it to be true in God's eyes. They speak what they know to be true. They act on what they know to be true. They breathe what they know to be true. They live what they know to be true. And therefore, they are at peace. No matter what the government or anyone should do around them, they are at peace. This is the peace that comes from being one with our Heavenly Parent. You know, government can create an environment for peace to be possible. But even in a peaceful country, it doesn't secure your peace. Peace is not something that the government can give you, and therefore it is not something that any government can take away. Peace is not the pause between battles. Peace is the presence of the Holy Spirit right in the midst of battle. I will seek that presence and that peace. I've watched True Mother under extreme duress look so calm. As she prays for those that oppose her. That's what peace looks like. Give me some of that. I'll take that, right? I'm not going to go into it again like I did a couple weeks ago. I can't even remember what I said, but I think I said what my experience was sitting in her presence as she's glowing. I mean, under circumstances from the, you could say, outer world, circumstances that you wouldn't expect somebody to be looking peaceful and glowing. Where does that come from? I believe that's what peace looks like. I will let peace be stronger than anger, softer than fear, and louder than accusation. I will let that peace fill me. Come on, fill this room. How about some peace? Who wants some faith? Who wants some freedom? And who wants some peace? There are calm songs, there are loud songs and fast songs, but the songs that we will be singing will be songs of faith, freedom, and peace. Aju? We know this. Every providence has a season. This is really nice. The problem is I can't open it with one hand. I figured it out. Every providence has a season of misunderstanding, followed by an explosive harvest for heaven. I want you to repeat that in your head while I take a sip of water. What did I say? Every providence has a season of misunderstanding, followed by an explosive harvest for heaven. Really? Joseph had one, Paul had one, Jesus had one, True Father had one. Now True Mother has it coming. Aju? An explosive harvest for heaven. Come on, Family Federation. Know that you are blessed. This is the beginning of a whole new story, and Mother herself confirmed it recently, saying, the future of Family Federation is bright. Yes. Say it. The future of Family Federation is bright. What is it? Bright. Who likes bright? But we will need to be bright. Be bright. We should not allow division to enter our hearts, okay? Before we close, I want you to hear from Chant's son. He's the son of Pastor Hyun-bo from Segero Church. And I believe that his family is really a beautiful living example of faith under pressure and freedom under pressure and peace under pressure. And I think you'll feel that from his short message. His words remind us that faith can never be contained. Would you like to meet him? His name is Chant's son. Let's roll the video.
Hi everyone, my name is Chan's son. I'm the youngest son of Pastor Hyun-bo of Segero Church in Busan, South Korea. My dad has been arrested for the last 25 days for speaking out for biblical truth and values. In Korea right now, freedom of religion and freedom of speech are being attacked and it's under threat. It's not an issue just for certain citizens or individuals or certain religions. So we must do our best in our respective places so our country can return to normal and we can get our freedom back. As I know you guys are being persecuted as well, we will keep praying for you, and also please keep us in your prayers as well. Thank you, and let's do it.
All right, brothers and sisters, let's stand up. Let's stand up. I will write, I will pray, I will unite. Okay, I will write letters of faith and gratitude. I want to write a letter to True Mother. Who'd like to write a letter to True Mother? I will write letters of gratitude for True Mother, knowing that even if the paper is somehow blocked by the cement wall, our spirit will not be blocked. The Holy Spirit will not be blocked, right? The love of Mother's children will not be blocked. So I'm going to write a letter. Will you write? Would you like to write a letter? I will pray for her strength and for Korea's peace. Will you pray? Yes. I'll unite with my brothers and sisters so that no one can divide us. Shall we unite? Yes. So I will not fight with anger, but I will stand with devotion. These are my statements. I will not lose heart when the world loses its way. I will believe that heaven still moves through ordinary people who simply refuse to give up. Heaven will work through very ordinary people who simply refuse to give up and refuse to sell out their faith or freedom or peace. Heaven is watching. History is recording. The Spirit is moving, and we will be found standing. Arju? All right, please join me in prayer. Let's bow our heads. Dear Heavenly Parent, we love you. We thank you. We thank you for guiding us through all of the uncertain times with your light, with your love, unwavering, unshakable love. We thank you, God, and we lift our beloved True Mother into your heart. We thank our True Mother, unshakable, unwavering, just like you. From her earliest memories, she's dedicated her entire life to you, God. Loving you and liberating you, liberating Jesus, liberating humanity, God. Please cover her, God. Heal her, give her strength and comfort as she sits alone. But she will never be alone, God, because she has been with you since she was born. She's not only with you, but we are with her too. Cover her, God, in comfort and strength. And let the truth rise like the morning sun over Korea. Let Korea be free. Let Korea be free. Our young men traveled to that nation to save and serve that nation with their blood. Let Korea be free. Let their blood not be in vain. Let your Spirit speak through our letters, through our songs, and through our unity, God. We believe in your providence. We believe in your presence, and we will walk in your peace. We believe your providence. We see your presence, and we will walk together with you, God, in your peace. Faith from our fire, Freedom is our song. Peace shall be our victory. Can we hear an adieu? Adieu! Adieu. Thank you, brothers and sisters. Mother sends her love, by the way.